thank you. All right, I'll start the meeting with pledge to the flag.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. No, Jonathan and Tim?
Yeah, Jonathan and Tim's out of the country and Jonathan was sick, so he's
Tim's in Paris.
going to the doctor tonight to try to get,
He was sick last time too.
yeah. So he thinks he might have pneumonia, so.
Oh,
He's
okay.
been sick for a
That's
while.
going around.
Oh, yeah?
All right, so I'll start the meeting with an opportunity for privilege of the floor. If anyone wants to speak to the board. Did you want to address the board? No? Welcome.
No pressure.
All right, and it's just Jesse online, so. So this is the May 7th agenda meeting of the Caroline Town Board. And so this is our agenda setting meeting for the business meeting. We don't have a big agenda of business items for tonight's meeting. But we will open with committee reports.
So I guess we had a planning board meeting,
Okay,
which you were also there, Mark, so you can let me know if I'm forgetting anything. I think the main takeaway there is that they're still working on the mobile home law, and that the changes they're making, they're hoping to just incorporate it into the zoning law
Oh, okay.
rather than having a separate law for mobile homes.
that's
So,
the way they're leaning.
yeah, that's their goal. So they hope to have these changes by June, these suggested changes.
Okay.
Which kind of leads me to the thing for something for the board. This is going outside of a committee report now, but just as part of this, that I'm thinking we might want to consider setting a date, a time. I mean, a period of time for when we might want to consider changes to the zoning law. Like rather than attacking it willy-nilly, just say, okay, any changes, people have suggestions, changes should come to us by middle of June. We will consider them at this meeting. And then,
So what are
do
you
that once,
thinking?
do that
Like,
once a year.
to the planning board and the review board?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
is,
So these would be changes to the zoning law that the planning board is proposing, and they think they can have them by June. Because they asked when would be a good time, and we pointed out that budget time is not a good time. And so budget season starts in the fall, right?
Yeah.
So it's like the summer is really the time.
Yeah.
Is when we would have time to interchange changes. And so I would say that also to the review board, if there's something they want changed, they should present it to us.
Yeah, I took or I listened to a talk, with a training that happened over in Corning. And about changing zoning laws.
Yeah.
It's an ongoing thing.
okay,
And one thing they asked, they said, take a look at when, the zoning board has had to be like, okay, this isn't working, on a repeated basis. That was the biggest take home I took from that, but also there should be something done on a regular basis.
Well, I guess what I mean is like, if people want to make change, I mean, I've heard rumors that people on the review board want to make changes.
no, I don't, no.
Well, they do want to change the subdivision law, I think.
Yeah, just process
Yeah.
things, yeah.
Um,
But I guess I would say, so we've had the zoning law for a little over a year.
right,
And there've been a few projects that come across the code officer's desk, and all I'm saying is our experience with it is not deep. But I think if the planning board has recommendations, especially with regard to this, what to do with the old mobile home law and how to, I think we should just do that, and we could consider any other changes. I would bring it more if anybody has suggestions rather
Yeah.
than changes.
Okay,
I don't want to. Personally, you know, no, I have some things that I would want to consider, so, and yeah, so we could, I think, yeah,
I guess my point is rather than,
that we need to let people know. Is that what you're saying?
well, we can do that too, but that also that it's a particular time of year. Like it's not just,
Oh, I see that every year.
yes,
Oh,
not that there has to be changes, but it's like, if you got to change, tell us about it next June. Or something rather than constantly saying, oh, we gotta change this, we gotta change it.
right, but I wouldn't want to develop an expectation that we're gonna be changing it every year.
Well, we could put it like that we will evaluate it or
Yeah.
entertain suggestions or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's just my suggestion, going along with this, they will have suggestions in June.
Okay,
Because I
Yeah.
think the way they're leaning is to treat a mobile home park more like a multifamily unit, a multifamily development.
yeah. Yeah, I saw, did you see the follow-up email from Bart after consulting with, yeah, anyway.
I probably did, but it was a while
Okay.
ago, right?
Anyway, yeah, yeah, but I
think
get
about
it if they
the,
think it could just be,
Yeah,
it could be, you know, it could be a small separate section in multifamily housing.
Yeah.
section of it.
yeah.
So,
Were you talking about the thing about the, certificate of health or something?
yeah,
That thing,
what do they call it?
I can't remember now,
Yeah,
but,
Also,
operating
aren't
permit.
there different types of mobile home parks? Like there's somewhere the people own their mobile home and
Yeah.
rent the property,
right,
where it's hooked up, on other places where the mobile homes are actually owned by one person and rented out.
I think, I don't know if it's the
There-
case for all of ours, but go ahead.
no, I think they're addressing that as
Okay.
well.
Okay, I mean, I
Most of them are the former model. I think most people own theirs.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's difficult because they depreciate in value, but it's easier to get a loan out for a mobile home than it is for a house, than for mortgage. It's
Well, no,
easier to qualify
right.
to buy. a
But
mobile
so
home.
the owner of the park has to provide certain things,
Mhm.
Yeah,
just like the owner of a multifamily building.
Okay,
Is kind of their point. So,
okay,
well, so I guess then, just to sum it up, I say, we can expect these changes, these suggestions in
Okay.
June
yeah,
to evaluate.
yeah. And I think I have no problem with considering them and if we feel it's warranted, then opening up, you know, proposals for changing the zoning.
Mhm.
You know, Will wrote Nan in on the process. I'm guessing the process will be much like, except we don't form a zoning commission.
To
The
make
adoption,
changes.
it's like it would be adopting a new, so I think we would have to,
We have to have a hearing probably.
yeah, have a
Yeah.
hearing and seeker and all that kind of stuff. So,
Okay,
yeah, okay, very good.
that's my report.
That's your report? Okay, very good, thanks. Recommendations. Great.
well, I can talk about the Safe Streets for All. That is, so it's the Safe Streets for All Action Plan, Tompkins County. And just a background, it's 10 municipalities joined together and got this grant. So we could hire planners to write a plan for safety on the roads. And so we are one of the municipalities that did that, and we are they're finally finishing the plan, and it's their final draft. Although it still says draft, but I put out the web, I sent it to the town board. Are you on the town board?
Am I on the town board?
Are you
Yeah,
on the town board? No, I mean, when I email town board, you're included in that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just making
And so
sure
is
that's the
Jesse.
town supervisor too.
Oh. Yeah.
So, you can take a look at that. It's not as long as I was afraid it might be.
When did
There was a
you,
lot of paperwork before that was a lot longer, so it's only like 40 pages long.
when did you email it?
Oh, just tonight.
Okay.
Oh,
Just like
okay, I was thinking.
I didn't send much, yeah,
Did I
just, I was just like,
neglect
okay,
it?
you guys can look at it. It took me forever to find the template for the, oh.
For
so-
a resolution.
Yes, for the resolution, so, we need to adopt this. They're hoping to have it done and out by the 21st of May. With, all the adoptions from all the municipalities as an appendix.
That's our next meeting.
Yeah, okay, they said, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Because there are a number of towns that said that exact same thing. That's our next meeting.
Yeah, probably.
So they're probably gonna run a week late, but, anyway, so that will be done. And so that's really good. It's got, just to clarify, they take each municipality and picked out 2 places, that they gave as an example and suggestions. But it doesn't mean that we have to do those things like first or anything else. There are also systemic ideas. And so this gives us a plan which allows us to apply for funds, federal funds, and also for state funds. Because a safety plan needs to be in place before you can apply for safety
Okay.
features. So
Great.
that's really positive. And so, if you take a look at that, and I'll get the resolution together. I did find the resolution templates, so.
So they already had a public process for input and all, right?
Yes.
That's not really appropriate at this.
No, I mean, there have been public meetings, that's all listed in the plan. The dates of the public meetings and everything else, all the different public input, so.
Okay,
The public meeting was a week ago, for the final draft.
so is this committee, gonna be continuing work after adoption of the plan, like for the individual municipalities, or now everybody just splits up and does their own thing, or what?
That's a good question. And I think it would depend on the project. That was discussed at one of the meetings. And one thing that is going to happen is that the plan and the data gathering behind the plan, there was a bunch of data that didn't get into the plan. And we wanted to preserve that. That will be kept, with Fernando at the Ithaca Tompkins County Transportation Council on a computer there, and will be accessible, just to let you know. So there was, for example, there was a map where people could go and say what areas they were worried about with speed and what they wanted to see. That was not directly put into the plan. And we thought that would be a good resource,
Yeah.
right?
So that
to
resource
maintain.
is referenced in the
That'll
plan?
be, yeah, and there's, and the website will be maintained by, the Transportation Council.
Great.
So that will be able to be accessed. So this is more of a way, I don't know, a supporting document that allows us to apply for different kinds of funding for traffic safety.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, great, thank you. Anything else? All set?
All set.
Great. That's great, so we'll put that on the May 21st agenda. Okay. So with that, I will, Velvet and I have been working to wrap up the 24 books, so I will now offer the following resolution for 2024 reserve funds to revenue accounts correction. I resolve the Carolina Town Board hereby amends the following use of reserve fund resolutions to document transfer to appropriate revenue accounts. So resolution 110 of 24, 31,400 from the highway barn reserve to the account 230 to A2397, which is the appropriate revenue account. Before I had just said put it I indicated the expenditure account, but expenditure accounts aren't made to. They're expense accounts, not revenue accounts. So the funds need to go to the revenue account. And then they can be used from there, basically, with a budget amendment. So, does that make sense?
Wait, they go from reserve to the revenue? No.
Yeah, they go from reserve to
Okay.
the revenue
Okay.
account. And then if you want to use them, you just make a budget adjustment by that
Okay.
amount and increase it in both the revenue and expense line. So then all of a sudden you have that additional revenue showing up in the modified budget of the expense line. Because anytime you make a budget adjustment, you have to do it both for the expense and revenue accounts equally. Otherwise, you'll upset the budget, right? That you set at the beginning of the year. So, so the others are the same logic. Resolution 119, 850 from Highway Barn Reserve to the same revenue account. Resolution 151, 137, 260, 76 from ARPA fund. It says funds, it's supposed to be funds.
Funds. So is that's the county ARPA funds that we got?
A688, that's the town ARPA funds.
What does ARPA stand for again?
American Rescue Plan Act, something like that,
Okay,
So,
to A2389.1 revenue.
okay, great,
So,
using our money,
huh?
using our money
Yes.
for the
yeah.
good, yep.
And then, well, I think I have the wrong resolution. I want to correct that. I'll have to look it up later, though.
What, your number, your 151?
151 is repeated, so one of those is wrong, so I'll correct that, but 2409460 from Highway Equipment Reserve to DA 233 to DA 2397, which is the revenue account, so. Okay, that's a long-winded explanation of that resolution. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Michelle. Any further discussion or questions? And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? We are working with a quorum tonight, so we don't pass anything without full agreement, so. Then offer the resolution, the next resolution, 2024 budget transfers. 129.98 from A1620.4 to A1620.41, little tweak 704.48 from A1920.4 municipal dues to A3620.4. That's code office inspection contractual. 1564.59 from A5132.4 garage contractual to A5010.4 supportive highway contractual. 550 from DA 5112.1 highway improvements personnel services to DA 5110.1 highway general repairs personnel services, and 197.33 from DA 5112.1 highway improvements personnel services to DA 5110.11 highway general repairs personnel services overtime. Do I have a second?
I'll second that one.
Seconded by Kate. Are we ready to vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's unanimous. Great. Okay, thank you for that. Yeah, kind of ministerial, but important accounting action. And then the minutes of April 16th. Does anybody have any comments for Jesse?
No. Thank you, Jesse.
Yeah, they look good. So the minutes of April 16th are hereby approved.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And do the items for the May business meeting. So Kate's gonna have a resolution. For the Safe Streets plan, is that right?
That's right.
And by then, we'll all have read the 40 pages of the Safe Streets
Right,
plan.
ask questions if you have any questions
Yeah.
about how it's supposed to be used and what its intent is. It's all written in there, but
Great.
ask questions.
I forwarded to you today the modified flood damage prevention law that we have to adopt because of the new FEMA floodplain designations.
All right. Mhm.
So I will be introducing that at the May 21 business meeting. And then setting the public hearing that day for the first June meeting. So anyway, I sent it, Guy made some final edits on the enforcement and penalties section just to make it more robust. So I sent that to the DEC today and they'll review it and give us, it's gonna be fine. So I'll let you know if not.
Okay.
And then Rick Alvord from the Joint Youth Commission has offered to attend the May 21 meeting to summarize the 2024 annual report of the Joint Youth Commission. So
That'd be interesting.
Jesse and I told him that would be great.
Mhm.
So he said it'd be like a 10-minute presentation. So
Great.
that'll be nice. So I think I might have told you before, but anyway, trying to think of the date. I think it was April 29th. We did get our bond funds in place. So those did come, they're in our town accounts. Velvet and I met with Amanda Anderson from Dryden, and that was yesterday, and so Amanda has been thinking about how to manage these funds so that we can keep them straight, keep the Caroline expenses and revenues separate from Dryden. So she's actually going to be doing virtually all of that and then providing us monthly reports.
That's fantastic.
So
Yeah. She's very keen and
Yeah.
knowledgeable on this. She's
She
really
is.
on top of it.
Yeah, she's fantastic. So, and Velvet's working with her, so I think Velvet and I, so that's all good. So, but one thing I've learned is we are going to need to have a professional audit done of our accounts.
Okay.
So I have a proposal. I'll send that to you later. Anyway, I expect at the May 21 meeting, I'll want to seek authorization to sign a contract. So
When was the last time we had a professional audit done?
we haven't had a full professional one done since I've been here. We had one done, I think, in 2019 which basically was, but
Okay.
so anyway, this will be good, but it's a necessity
Mhm.
because of what we're doing with the broadband and the bonding. So we have to do it, so. So those are the 4 items. So introduce flood damage law, a presentation from the Joint Youth Commission, contract for audit services from Insero, resolution on Safe Streets plan. Any other things you can think of? All I can think of. So we did receive a couple of additional emails about measures for safer streets, separate from what you're working on. So, so I did ask Bob about, he's gonna talk to the county to see if we can get your speed is sign in Brookendale during the summer camp. So I'm hoping that. If not, I would might want to consider seeing if they could place hours there with just the
Mhm.
speed limit on it. So I think
Yep.
that'll be the next step if the county
Yeah.
can't do it.
So,
But anyway, I just wanted to bring that up and
Mhm.
see if you guys had any thoughts. I think we were all emailed on it, right? Well,
Oh,
I think that-
yeah,
two different people emailed us.
I only saw one.
Okay.
Uh,
Oh, you know
Yeah.
what? I don't think you got the one from
I-
Jed, did
I
you?
don't,
I got
I
the-
think I responded just directly to Chad.
I got one from Jed,
Oh, you
I got
did?
something, maybe,
but I didn't get one from anybody else.
maybe I didn't, I thought I hit respond all,
Okay, anyway,
but I'll send you my response to Chad.
I saw a response,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
but you said there were two people, I didn't.
Oh, well, one I think was Thomas Road,
Oh, I
Thomas
got
Road.
the Thomas Road stuff,
you did.
yeah.
and then Chad.
That's all.
Oh, okay,
Nancy Hall has also contacted me on the phone a number
Okay.
of times with the concern about the speeding on Valley Road and then Brooktondale Road, but specifically the Valley Road, the community center, the kids, and
yeah, cause I think it would be important to put those signs up, again,
Yeah,
for the summer camp.
yeah, we'll figure out a way to do
But
it.
hopefully they won't be editorialized.
right.
Yeah.
Somebody told me there was one there was one in front of the community center, and there was one at the other end of Brooktondale. I didn't ever see that one, so I don't know. Does anybody remember that? There were two. I don't remember there being two last summer.
It makes sense if there were two.
It would make sense,
But,
Yeah, it would. There was an earlier date, several
Yeah.
years ago,
right,
when they put a your speed is sign further east, like
Mhm.
up the hill.
right.
I don't remember. I don't remember if there were two or not. There should be two, I
Yeah.
would think, so.
Mhm.
Well, I talked to somebody who jogs regularly on Landon Road, and he said that he feels the striping on there has helped a lot. He said especially people slow down, there's a curve right near where Vandermark Road is. And he said they're staying in their lane, they're not like, zooming out, banking on the curve.
So
and
striping is
just-
putting a line on the shoulder?
No, just in the middle,
Oh,
so that, people aren't taking the middle and then.
Or both.
Oh.
around. Yeah, so,
okay,
I mean, I did get past even though there's a solid double stripe line, but, that
Okay,
somebody was late for work, so anyway.
anyway, I
Generally,
just,
it's positive.
that's great. That's the action that I
Okay.
see we can take.
yeah, so that's great.
I know you mentioned that, maybe we could ask for a lower speed limit, but it's 35 now. And the state determines the speed limit, so I'm not.
Right, no, I meant longer term.
Oh, okay.
We could ask again, could they put in there are movable speed bumps. That, they put in construction zones. Could the county do something else? Could they be a little more creative, so.
Well,
So-
we could
That's not a
ask,
county.
if they have any recommendations. I mean, they did. When there was the concern up where there's the right angle turn on White Church Road there
That's right,
at the rock
Yeah.
wall, they did all that.
right.
They put in those two flashing lights and,
And
And
they
rumble
put in the transverse rumble strips, so. There's a thing now saying that you shouldn't use transverse rumble strips because they don't last long enough. But I would be happy if it lasted for the summer.
that would be mighty short.
I know that's too short, but I'm just saying for some reason in Ithaca, everybody has to go 15 miles an hour near a school, and here it's 35 with no enforcement. I know it's not a school, but it's where the kids are. 50, 60 kids, so. It's safety,
Great,
anyway,
okay,
okay,
I just wanted to make sure what you thought and.
No, I certainly hope we can do that again.
Great, okay,
And then, so the Thomas Road, they said that speed can be lowered, right, to 45?
so what has to happen, and this isn't clear to everybody. Bob has to get 2 letters or orders subsequent to this note. We haven't gotten the official.
I see,
So he has to wait to do that, to get that before he can actually put the sign in. When he
Okay.
gets the second one, then he can go put signs
I
in.
see.
Yeah,
I'll get a copy of that too. When that gets sent into Bob, they send it to me too. So we'll know
okay,
at the town hall right away when that comes in.
so is that what happens? Those notices come to the town, to you, Jesse?
Yep. Yes, yep.
Okay. Yep,
So one is
you haven't seen
saying what the
anything
speed
yet.
limit is, and one letter is saying, yes, you can put the signs up, right? Do I understand that correctly?
That's right. One's to say that the speed study has been conducted and this is the result. And then you wait from there. They send a second letter that says you're now authorized to put up your signs.
So we got the first letter?
I don't think so. Is that right, Jesse?
We've got the first one. Everybody's
got
got
the
a
first one.
copy of that. Yep.
Oh, okay, so we did get the first
I
one.
thought, yeah, I thought, otherwise it wouldn't be.
Well, they could put out an email and
Yeah.
then send
But
out.
you can't put out, just can't, we're just waiting to get permission to put the signs up. So
Yeah, okay. Great,
Okay,
anything else?
Yep.
If I don't hear anything, I'm gonna offer a resolution to adjourn.
okay.
I will offer a resolution to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Second by Kate, all in favor?
Aye.
Once I
Opposed?
can go for a walk.
Meeting is adjourned.
Great.
Great,